added a touch of orange, like a burnt orange, to the conservatory wall, just the pillar part, because we've had the roof done, although it's already dirty. We've had a proper roof put on and 2 windows on, and this is a badly scratched sofa that I love. It's an old Marks and Spencer's one. I've tried to patch it up there for the time being while her ladyship does it. And these are the flowers that I bought, that I got from the range. It cost me about £24. Had I bought them from Dunelm, something similar would have cost about 50 or 60, so I'm quite pleased with that. These are just cushions I made from some fabric I got on eBay. It's like it's a bit like scuba, only it isn't scuba, but it's that kind of fabric, just to add a touch of colour to it. Hello everybody, welcome to Vlogmas Day 9. Vlogmas Day 9, it's Friday, and we are doing very well. I shall be in a few minutes, I'll put you a nice little chat down that His Lordship and I had this morning, and I think you might enjoy it. I'm busy cutting out my leather gloves. I found my leather. I've got my thumbs cut out, my 2 thumbs. I've got my 2 lower hands cut out, and all I've done is I've traced the line. I've done chalk marks for the splits, which I'm not going to do anything to yet. And then I've got the there, and the underside, as I say, have this little notch there, so that when I put my hand in, there's going to be a split that's going to make it, because I've made longish ones, they're going to be kind of to my wrist there, they're going to turn in a bit, so you need to have something like an opening, a bit more of a split to get them on. So I've got the 2 backs, and all I've got left to do are the fingers. Oh no, and I've got a contrast to do. So I actually have, I forgot about this, I've got a bag full of little leather offcuts that I got, so years ago, and they're inside a chest in the hall. So I think I shall go for a contrasting colour for the little band that's going to go across the top there, like that. Might go for something like a red or an orange. I'm not sure what colours I've got there, but I'm sure I'll be able to get something out of it. So I've got loads of leather left. Loads here, rolled up there. This is the kind of leather you use. I don't know whether they've still got the same name, but we used to call it gloving leather because it's lovely and soft. It's not like the cowhide. Well, it is a cowhide, but it's a soft leather. It's really soft and manipulative. It's easy to sew. So I've got loads left, but I've got enough here. I think I can get away with using these pieces here to get the fingers out of them. I need to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers to do, and I've kept all my little scraps. I was going to bin them, and then I thought no, keep them, because I've got an idea for something for those later on. Not so much later on, maybe it's next year. I've got lots of, I think I'm quite fancying on doing things other than making clothes. I'm going to make clothes, but I quite fancy doing other things as well. So I'm going to get on with these fingers, but in the meantime, let's have a Sherlock Holmes. A body in the sauna. The smell of pine needles creates a lovely festive atmosphere despite the circumstances, I said as we entered the sauna. I doubt that's why Lestrade sent for us, Holmes replied, and headed over to a group of 3 officers who were in the middle of a heated discussion. There you are, Lestrade called as soon as he saw us. We've been waiting for you. The inspector is at a loss as usual, I whispered to Holmes in his ear. I heard that, Lestrade huffed. Well, you try your luck. Here's the body. And the officer stepped aside to reveal a naked man in his mid-40s lying dead with a stab wound in his chest. Unfortunately, there's only one witness. The victim came to the sauna once a week with a friend. The friend testifies that they went outside to cool off separately, as usual, after the first sauna session, and didn't see each other during that time. The victim was stabbed to death in this deck chair. The outdoor area is large with lots of bushes and trees for privacy. A 13-foot high wall also surrounds it. You'd have to be a circus performer to get over that. And the two men were the only ones in the sauna? Asked Holmes. Yes, apart from them, only the owner was present. But he was on the phone to the building inspector in his office at the time in question. We've checked. So where's the weapon? I asked. There isn't one, said Lestrade. We've searched the area with a fine-tooth comb and found nothing suspicious. The dead man had a book by Joseph Conrad with him and his friend an empty thermos flask. That's all. So someone must have climbed over the wall after all, I concluded. But surely someone would have seen him from the street. Not so fast, my dear Watson, said Holmes. I suppose the man's friend denies everything. Correct, said Lestrade. That won't save his skin, said Holmes. So, Holmes thinks that's him. Could it be the friend that's killed him? But there's no weapon. Let's find out at the end. Happy Vlogmas. It is the 9th of December. His Lordship is out there. I don't know what he's doing. We're just ranting on each other because we keep saying, you've got dementia. No, I haven't. You've got dementia. Because he keeps forgetting things. I said to him a while ago, do you want some coffee, a drink? And he's going, do you want a drink? And I says, I'm asking you if you want a drink. So anyway, I'm busy making him a coffee and me a tea. And we're going to have, well, I've got one. There he is, look. There he is. He's putting the bins out. He's putting the rubbish in the bins. He's coming in a minute. You'll be able to say, let's see him.
You're grinning at?
I'm grinning at that there. Because I haven't seen you, have they?
Who?
He hasn't brushed his hair. Nothing new. Right.
I've been doing chores, even though I'm virtually on my deathbed.
Oh yeah, he's virtually on his deathbed.
I virtually am.
Uh-huh.
Achoo. And
I sound like I've been, I'm beginning to sound like Deirdre Barlow. With a deep voice, smoke 60 cigarettes a day.
I feel as though I need to pre-warn everybody that Micheline's losing it. She's losing it twice in the last week.
No, it wasn't in the last week.
When was it?
Today and 3 weeks ago.
Oh, was it 3 weeks ago? She's called me Alec. Alec, right? The ex. Follow that.
And I'm supposed to be getting better.
No, you get worse.
I'm getting better, but it just it keeps coming and going, doesn't it? I was fine till 6 this morning, and then I started coughing, and I'll gradually get better again. I think I need a dose of our medicine.
It's a common
again.
cold, and they call it a common cold because it keeps us in our place. Because as you might be aware, common colds afflict common people. And that's us.
What's that song about the common people?
That's that Sheffield lad.
The common people. It's one of my favourite songs. That. Where this posh girl wants to go out with a lad because she wants to know what it's like being a common person.
She wants a bit of rough.
She wants a bit of rough, and so she then. I'd love to play it on here, but YouTube penalises me for it. So it's a story where they're both at college, I think, art college or something, and she's a posh girl, and she wants to live like common people. Is it Blur? No, who is it? It's can't remember what the band is. He should know, and it's one of my favourite songs. And
I should know.
And then when they go into the supermarket, he said I took her in the supermarket, and he said I think he told her to steal something. Did he?
I can't remember. I don't know the words that well.
This is dementia between the two.
No, it's not dementia.
It is dementia.
I never followed them as a band.
Oh, well, they play it all the time on Virgin Radio, and I love the lyrics. I'll put the lyrics down there over his face so you can see what the storyline is.
That'll be an improvement.
Anyway,
What?
cups of tea for me, cup of coffee for him. I've gone into tea now because what I found is we've been cutting everything down. I cut down my breads because I found that if I have bread, I get acid reflux and I belch a lot. And so we've cut down the bread, so we don't eat bread. And I found that coffee makes me belch.
Yeah, it does.
So I've started drinking tea and it's made a big difference. And he's got this tea, he went shopping and got this tea that was...
Cheap.
cheap
tea?
I said to him, no, listen, let me tell him the story. I love, when we used to go to his mother's for coffee, I love a good cup of coffee, good make of coffee. And we used to go to his mother's and she used to give us this coffee, right? Every time we went home, I used to say, promise me that you will not be getting, that we will not live off cheap coffee because it's absolutely foul. So he went shopping the other week and he came and usually we get, what do we usually get? Carte Noir, which is a nice stuff. And he comes back, this is another one, but he went to Sainsbury's. This is the one he got from Aldi, and he's
£2.40 a jar.
He's adamant that this is the same make as Sainsbury's because they got the same shaped bottle.
It's identical.
Slightly different on the bottom, but anyway, he got this. He got this, and he came home with that, and I said, oh, well, I'm not having that. I said, well, we're getting like your mother, we've got this cheap coffee that's absolutely, it's horrible. It's horrible, but he's having it. And then he got me some cheap tea, which is...
No, the thing was, I said, do you fancy trying tea? And you said, yeah, I'll try tea. So I said, I'll go and get some. I had the choice of Tetley's at £3.80, a box of 50, and this one, Sainsbury's Best, a box of 100 for £1.20.
Is that how much it was? One of these tea bags serves 2 cups because it's so strong. So, so then the other day when we were in Teesside Park and went round Marks and Spencer's, we went in to get a little bit of a shop, and there was a red box like that. And he says, you see? He says, even Marks and Spencer's sell that tea. But which is probably true because my ex used to work in a cake decorating.
Oh, would that be... Oh,
no, don't be nasty.
Oh, be nasty.
He used to work in a cake decorating factory, and they used to make the decorations for cakes. And he used to say that Marks and Spencer's used to have the same decorations, almost the same decorations as the ones that you sold for other companies, but they had that little tweak to it that was slightly different, and they had to not mix that. They hadn't to look exactly like the previous ones, like the other companies, and they charged twice as much for them. And so and he used to say it's the same stuff, it's just they've put an extra flour on, or they've tweaked it that way instead of the other way, And so yes, so this is possibly Marks and Spencer's tea bags, because it's the same style of box. It didn't have a green lid though, did it? It was all red.
It was all red.
And it was called Red Label? Or Red Tea? Red Tea or something.
No, it wouldn't be red tea, because there is a...
there is a red tea as well. Well, I think this is red tea, because when you put tea bag in, it comes out like a browny red colour. And I've never seen tea bag come out that colour before.
Red tea. Red tea, those are black-leaved.
Black leaf.
That's a black leaf tea. That's proper tea.
Black leaf tea.
Red tea is a different...
It's got a red drop about it.
This is riveting now. Have you all fallen asleep or what?
Well, they said, one of the ladies said there's not enough chat, so we need to get some more chat.
Is this chat like?
This is chat. So they feel like that I'm talking to them. Like we're talking. He wants to do a Sherlock Holmes, so I've got to find one where he can talk. But
I've got a cracking joke.
Oh, go on then, tell him the joke. I've heard this about 50 times.
No, it's Sherlock Holmes and Watson decide that they wanted to go camping, right? So they bought themselves a really posh tent, and well, for the time, because obviously it's a long time ago, and they went up onto the Yorkshire Moors, and they pitched their tent and they had a lovely supper and all the rest of it, and then they went to bed in the sleeping bags under the canvas, like you do, because we've all done it, and it's a great thing to do. Anyway, about 3 o'clock in the morning, Holmes was woken up. His shoulder was being shaken by Watson. Watson. He says, "Oh, Watson, what do you want?" He said, Holmes, look at this. It's beautiful. Look at the sky. It was a beautiful, clear night. They could see all the stars in the sky glinting and glistening, and the moon was bright and beautiful. And is that Saturn I can see there? Said Watson.
Saturn?
And Holmes was completely unimpressed. "What's the matter, Holmes?" He said, "Watson, you idiot. Somebody's stolen the tent."
That's supposed to be funny. That's a dad joke.
I didn't laugh though, did I?
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
And I didn't think it was funny.
It was funny. It was funny when I read it.
Anyway, that's daddy jokes, you see. And when he does jokes like that with his kids, well, your son, they go, "Dad, that's not funny." And the funny thing is, your son started doing dad jokes, hasn't he?
Doesn't do them as good as me though.
You may not notice, but this lovely gentleman's glasses have a chip there and a chip there.
Yeah, chip there.
He came home one day after looking after the grandgirls, and I said, "What's happened to your glasses?" Oh, he says, "I dropped them."
No. You see, my youngest granddaughter, Indy, who has talipes, which is basically clubfoot. So she was having to wear pots on her feet, for a couple of weeks to get them
Straight.
twisted back. It's a pre-op thing. She has to have an operation eventually. But we were outside a place in Castleford near where they live, and we were going in, and we parked the car and we were setting off, and she said, "Grandad, uppy." Well, in Indie speak, an uppy is
carry.
Carrying.
Because when she's walking, her feet go like that. Yeah. And there's times when she's running, you can almost, I keep saying that she's gonna trip up. And she's very good at it though, isn't she?
So I said, "Yeah, no problem." So I picked her up, and the way we do an uppy is basically she comes right up in front of me, over my head, and onto my shoulders. Got it slightly wrong, and so her legs brushed down the side of my face like that, and the glasses went all the way down to the tarmac floor,
and cracked on both sides. Now then, can I just ask, how many pairs of glasses have your grandchildren broken of yours?
All of them.
How many could we count on one hand? How many there were? There might be two handfuls.
That's because I'm.
You used to keep coming home with a broken on one end and saying, "Broke my glasses again." Yes, it's a good job we buy them because it's a good job I buy them online at a cheaper price, because even your expensive ones that you got at the Specsavers cost £200 and odd, and they got broken in no time.
Oh,
so I said, right, what?
Fast. They were fast.
Yeah, fast. So I said, we're not spending £200 and odd or £300 for a pair of glasses that break.
What you cannot be, if you want to be an interactive granddad, what you cannot do is say, "Oh, get away from my glasses. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. I've got glasses on." You can't do that.
When they were little, they used to pull them off and go like that.
The best one was when I was chasing the oldest granddaughter, or the oldest one that lives near us. I was chasing her up the stairs one day, and I can't quite work out what happened, but I ended up getting smacked in the face with a foot, and my tooth flew out.
A cap tooth, I have to say. It's not a...
It was a cap tooth.
It was a cap tooth, but it flew out.
And my poor little granddaughter was horrified.
She thought it was a real tooth. She thought she'd knock his tooth out.
It It was dead funny. She
And we
couldn't
had to say,
understand.
it's all right, Furnace. It was one of those pretend teeth.
She couldn't understand why I was laughing. So, Grandad, I wouldn't be laughing, I'd be crying. I said, don't be daft.
Anyway, there's your coffee.
Coffee.
I'm going to put the milk away and we'll see you later. Bye. So we're looking for number 10. No, we're looking for number 9. We're looking for number 9. Where is number 9? 14, 22, 16, 11, 18, 23, 21, 24. Where's number 9? 10, 13, 10, 20, 11. Ah, there's number 9. Number 9 is the pot of coffee. And number 9, oh, the bin men are here. Look, the bin men are here. Number 9, the pot of coffee, goes onto the table. Onto the table. So we'll go past this one. Oh, can you hear the bin men? Oh, that was a long meow. That was a very long meow. Oops. I've just knocked one of the cat balls. So number 9 goes right at the back here on the table. A pot of coffee for the table. Now let's go and say hello to her ladyship. Past the washing rail. Hello. Hello, Trouble. How are you? Eh? How are you today? Are you a good girl? Are you a good girl? Come on then, come and join me. Come and join me. You've messed up this house anyway with your stuff, haven't you? Let me just sit here and talk to you. Now then, how are you today? Eh? How are you? Are you a good girl? You've got sleep in your eye again, haven't you? Going to have to try and get that out discreetly because you won't like it. No, you won't. Oh, dear me. How are you? Eh? Well, the body in the sauna. Here's the answer to it. This is the solution. As is so often the case, when everything else has been ruled out, we are left with a solution, no matter how improbable, said Holmes. So what does that mean, said the inspector. The owner has a rock-solid alibi, and you'd have to be a ninja to breach the wall, and would have been spotted by a passer-by, Holmes said. We got that far already, Lestrade huffed. But you didn't make the right conclusion, said Holmes. It is impossible that his friend stabbed him, Holmes, Lestrade said. Without a weapon, he hardly used Conrad's Lord Jim. Of course not. The murder weapon was in the thermos flask. Now you're having me on, said Lestrade. The only remaining possibility is that there was a sharp icicle in the thermos flask. The so-called friend stabbed his victim with it and then left the ice to melt. That is why we can't find a murder weapon. Lestrade was genuinely astounded. Sometimes I think Colonel Moran is right. It's your own criminal energy that allows you to think like a villain. My great-uncle H.H. Holmes may well have been a villain, but he was not an especially innovative one. His genes are little help in solving the puzzles of criminology. Those skills I have taught myself. So there you go. It was his friend killed him, although we don't know what the motive was or why he killed him, but there must have been a motive. That's the problem. These are just short and sweet stories that you don't get to know the whole thing. So I'm going to get on with cutting these fingers again. I didn't cut them before, so I'm going to cut them now. So I've got these all outlined. I'm going to cut them, and I've got 2 already cut here. 2 are already cut. I've used paper, but if you my patterns are made of paper, but it is far better if you trace them in card, because they're a bit easier to press down. You can't pin the patterns to the leather because the holes will show. So basically you trace round them And if you have light leather, you could have traced around with a pen. I've used chalk, but obviously the paper is a bit flimsy and you've got to be careful that you're not moving the paper too much. You can't hold it down, so the drawing around it makes life easier. It's now later on in the day. I've got a light on behind me instead of in front of me. If I put that on, maybe you might see it. Oh, it's rather bright, that. Oh, anyway. It's later in the day, and what time is it now? 2 minutes past 4. Blinds down because the night is setting in. And just a quick comment about last night's vlog, which I only uploaded this morning. I actually finished it earlier in the evening last night, and thought I had uploaded it, and I went to check, and I didn't notice until this morning that it hadn't uploaded. But not just that, what I found last night was that I hadn't removed a piece of music right from the end. So there's actually 10 minutes of nothingness at the very end, and then this block of music which should have been removed. So if any of you says your video was 50 minutes long but it was only 40 minutes of video, it's because I had left that little piece of music in. I should have removed that, and then it would have cut it short. But when I found that out, I'd actually uploaded it from my laptop to my files, and then I'd uploaded from my files to YouTube, and I then found out that it had that bit of extra at the end, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to go through all this again. I really am not going to go through this, because the hardest part of vlogging isn't the making of it, it isn't the preparing of it, although the preparing of it does take a while. It's the uploading of it, because I have to upload to a file, and then that file has to be uploaded to YouTube. Then YouTube has to check it to make sure I haven't got any music that I shouldn't have, because if I have music that I shouldn't have, they penalise me for it. And they check that I haven't got any foul language in it. And they check, well, by the time I then say whether I want adverts on, because it's the little adverts that make a bit of money for me. Don't make a lot. I definitely don't make a lot, not like a lot of other people do. But it's the little adverts that I have on that sometimes may irritate you, but that's where I get a little bit of income from each of the vlogs. And by the time I've done all that, I say for example, yesterday I had the vlog finished by 5 o'clock in the evening, but it took me till 8:30 to go through all the rigmarole of uploading it. Probably because I'm not on rapid speed uploading. The internet's not rapid here, and I'm in my little fortress of solitude, which is a bit detached from the house, and so the internet's a bit slower here as well. And he keeps saying, well, take it in there to do, but if I do, I've got to unplug plugs, I've got to lift up my laptop, I've got to disconnect everything, and I can't be bothered. So yes, yesterday's vlog went on a bit too long with blackness. This one is going to be at least 30 odd minutes, because I'm chatting away now. So anyway, I'm going to love you, I'm going to leave you, and I'll catch you tomorrow on the 11th of December, fingers crossed, because Barbara and John are coming tomorrow mid-afternoon, and we're going to watch the England football game, the World Cup game, England against Spain. No, it's not against Spain, England against France. And I said, oh well, if England wins I'll be chuffed, but if they don't win I'll have to support my other half team, won't I? Because my dad's French, so I have to support France. But I'm not supporting them unless England lose. So I'll try my best to get another one up for you later, tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you and catch you tomorrow. Bye!